Eddie, I think, didn't you call the Queensberry Tracksuit guys competition winners?
This is a parody, Dev. This is taking a mickey out of you lot. I'm the only, like, Deontay, the others didn't want to wear it, so I thought I'm going to get my own stuff made tonight.
It's ironic.
I like the Queensberry tracksuit, so I thought I'm getting a matchroom one done. So we got it done, and I can't wait, mate. I mean, like, we've had so many people talking about, arguing, debating, not just the fights, but the scores. And there's so many dynamics to this team event where it's like, obviously you've got a fighter that might be digging in well behind. You almost want to see them hear the final bell because the stoppage is an extra point. On the flip side, you've got a guy who's dominating the fight, might just be cruising. Step on the gas, let's get the stoppage and another point. And of course, the captain's picks are so influential to the overall result of this. We can win 3 fights in there tomorrow of the 5 and still lose the tournament. And I think that's the compelling nature of the point system.
I bet you're glad this guy's not fighting on the team.
Well, it depends who we had up against him, but I got the pleasure of watching him live last time. Tremendous talent, and very young as well. I remember hearing him saying that he wants to be, the youngest world heavyweight champion in the world. And my advice is take your time. You got many years, and he's keeping nice and active, and he's an outstanding talent. One day we'd like to see him in one of these tracksuits, but now me and Frank are friends, probably won't happen.
Yeah, I think you'll get chucked off this platform very shortly if you carry on chat like that, Eddie Hearn. But tell me, which one has excited you the most out of all of them? Because I think you said it's probably Dubois Hrgovic for you. We haven't talked about your one, Andy, but feel free to interject. But what about yourself?
It's so difficult. I mean, you've got different relationships with different fighters. For me, me and Craig go back a long way. Like, to see him get this opportunity is massive, and I like Will. Do you know what? Honestly, I like all the Queensberry boys as well. There's been a great feeling of everyone. Willie's a great laugh. Hamza's a gentleman, really good fighter. I rate him. I think everybody's underestimating Amo Williams as well. I mean, he is well out there, but he's a tough man with tremendous reflexes. He can really punch, and he's very unpredictable as well. Wilder Zhang, I think, the whole tournament is going to rest on that fight. And as Moses said, Hrgovic against Dubois, I've got to say, I think Daniel's looked really good this week. I think he's don't forget, he's still a young man. And everything that he's been through, especially the criticism, I think maybe he's coming into his own now as an individual. But Philip's very good. But we've got to find out how good, because we haven't yet seen what everybody talks about behind the scenes about Filip Hrgovic. So, and then you've got Nick Ball against Ray Ford, which for me is the top 2 featherweights in the world. I mean, Nick's, we don't forget, I'm sure people are aware there is an earlier weigh-in, and that's a ceremonial weigh-in. You get to see the numbers on the scales that the guys are now weighing, and Nick Ball's a big lump. Do you know what I mean? He's rehydrated, nice and tasty. But Ray's very good, very good. You're talking about a real... I feel like this guy, when you talk about Shakur and Devin, he's from that same kind of mould. But Nick's a handful for anyone, right? Well, you're going to get such a stunning night tomorrow night. Like, the emotion from everyone. And it's not just like me and Frank. It's all the fighters that you're seeing all the fighters sending videos in, and they're all watching. AJ's flying out here. It's just a great feeling. One of the best events I've been involved with, and I think tomorrow. And by the way, I think Bivol Zenad's going to be a great fight as well. Malik's right up for it, and he can really fight.
It's gone under the radar a little bit, that one. It's still two unbeaten. Yeah, of course, still 2 unbeaten light heavyweights. Andy, I think you want to prize something out of Eddie. Go on.
Yeah, I've just been dying to
ask you. I'm not buying another one of your books.
I should really gift you one in fairness. You did some heavy lifting for me.
You made me flog one on a video, and I didn't even get a freebie. What's going on?
Must be an audio book in the post.
I didn't bring enough copies with me. I didn't. I have to ask you this though, because it'll be the last chance I get. Both of you have talked about the fighters all week. You've kept it away from yourselves, the kind of spotlight. But I mean, do you really get on, you and Frank, or do you just tolerate each other?
Honestly, yeah. Like, when we first met, it was we just got to do this. His Excellency brought us together and said, slapped us both around the face and said, just stop it, you two. Like, let's just all work together. And it was almost like a reluctant shake of the hands. Like, all right, and I never expected the relationship to go the way it has. I've always got on with George and Francis, similar age to me, but I just had it in my head that me and Frank would never ever speak. And I think that he's realised that although, I've been around now a while, I love boxing. I've loved boxing since I was 8 years old. And I think he's also found that I'm very knowledgeable about the sport as well, because I study it, and I'm so passionate about the game, and so is he, by the way. So a lot of those common conversations are about that, and I think this has probably been one of the most enjoyable periods of my career. This whole, obviously being out here and working with His Excellency, but being involved with Queensberry, even the teams. And for years, like, you'd open up Twitter and Dev would been having a pop at one of our fighters or one of our teams. Now he's all chummy with Jamie Ward, our other presenter, and they're presenter friends, and it's all like. But I will say one thing: as much as the team concept is incredible, as much as we want to win, these guys have got to do it for themselves. Like in there, the team, it's a nice story. You got to do it. You're going to have to go through some horrible things tomorrow night. Go to some bad places, and when you're doing that, don't worry about me and Frank Warren. Worry about yourself. Protect yourself at all times, give it absolutely everything, chase your dreams, and go and change your life, because everybody fighting out here's got the chance to stay on board and keep on going. And, this is a great time for boxing.
A decent cash bonus never hurts, does it?
Well, we ain't coming here for nothing. You know what I mean? So, obviously, myself and Frank, we want to get paid just like the fighters, and we've all put a lot of work into this, and I'm sure every fighter is doing extremely well out here. And, the winning team, I'm sure will do even better. So, looking forward to just so many great dynamics tomorrow night.
Eddie, let me ask you this, right? So if there's a stoppage that shouldn't be a stoppage, if there's a decision that goes one way and you think it should have gone the other way, do you think you could fall out with Frank? Do you think you could go back to the bad old days?
It will be. There'll be a lot of that at ringside. Because it will be, he's holding ref, shut up, he's not holding, because that, you can't help that. I mean, even...
Sorry, what's the seating arrangement? You're sitting next to each other?
I would think that it's probably His Excellency and us two on the other side, and he'll probably be going, but I'll be up banging the camp. This is the bread, I love it. Like that Catchall Taylor last week, my heart was beating out of my chest for 12 rounds. That's a proper night out for me. I don't want to go to a nightclub and stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning. I want to see a great fight where my boy can go in and change his life. And those guys tomorrow, that's what I'm saying, like about Ray and Ammo. Ray and Ammo and Craig all signed with us from a professional debut. I'm so proud of them. Like when you got a kid like Ray who comes out, he's from Camden, New Jersey. So it's a bad neighbourhood, right? He beats Komatov on ESPN, makes some good money. Now tomorrow night, whatever happens, he's paying off his mum's mortgage. He's buying himself a little house. And guess what? You win tomorrow night, you're going to buy another one. And then eventually, Ray, we're going to buy the street. And then hopefully in time, you can look after everybody you know. And that's to see someone change their life through the sport that we love, it's the greatest story. And those guys particularly got the chance to do it. Listen, for Hrgovic and Zhang, they're making mega money. And Wilder and Daniel. But look what awaits. Hrgovic against Dubois could be AJ against at Wembley. Wilder's fighting for his career. Very honest interview. I mean, some might say they didn't like the sound of it, but he didn't lie, did he? He said, I'll get beat, I'm done. So he's either checking out or he's putting all the pressure on himself to perform tomorrow night. I'm double sure it's the latter. But he's got to win tomorrow night. And by the way, 60 pounds lighter than Zhilei Zhang. He's used to it. He's been there all his career, but Zhilei Zhang's a heavy-handed guy. You saw that in the Joseph Parker fight. I just saw Parker. He backs Wilder tomorrow night, but he's going to have to be a lot better.
One thing Eddie mentioned there, Moses, was about the dream, right? To buy the next house, to buy the street, and then look after your family, and then look after the generations beyond. That's the dream, right?
Oh, 100%. Obviously, me and you coming out Kent. We'll be buying up Water Slade soon, and don't know, make it up to the big stage. Listen, I'm very grateful to even be around these lot. Like I've shared the ring with Daniel, and seeing him tomorrow, I want him to do the job. You know what,
at that age and for the fighter, they've got to chase the legacy. And the legacy brings the money. But you also need people around you to know that this is a very, very dangerous, tough sport. And although I want my guys, guys like Moses, obviously, from Matchroom, to become a champion, to chase that legacy, we have to protect them and make sure that they can do all the things that they need to from boxing, which is take care of their family and secure their future. But you must never lose focus of the dream, which is the championships, it is the legacy, it is the World Heavyweight Championship. Because once it starts becoming about money for the fighter, they lose a little bit something,
It's never going to sustain you long, that, is it? Because that was never what it was about when you started.
No, but as you mature, as your life changes, as you're looking after different people, of course the money is very important, but every fighter has to fight for legacy. And then when it becomes just about the money, they lose a little bit of their soul. But the great ones, look, Canelo Alvarez is very honest, isn't he? Just pay me as much money as you want and I'll fight anybody you want. Because he's done the legacy bit. Do you know what I mean? What else is there to chase? So, but I feel like us as a team around the fighter, we got to look after the important things outside of the ring, which is, to make sure all that's set for you for life. These guys have just got to work hard because the attractiveness of dreams and legacy must outweigh the attractiveness of just pure money. But mostly they go hand in hand. And that is a beautiful thing.
You've been working hard all week, Eddie. Final rallying cry to that camera down there. Tell them about Saturday night.
Well, Saturday night, I think for me, is one of the best cards you will see. One of the greatest concepts in boxing. 30 years of rivalry between the Hearns and the Warrens. But forget about that. Forget about me and Frank scrapping at ringside. Worry about 5 tremendous 50-50 fights. World-class fights that you cannot pick a winner from. Starting off with Craig Richards, of course, against Willie Hutchinson. I'm backing my man, the Spider. Late stoppage. Willie's looking a little bit, don't want to be disrespectful, fleshy around the body, and then we go on to the 2 best featherweights in the world. Should be a unification matchup. Nick Ball against Ray Ford. It's Camden, New Jersey against Liverpool, England. And what about Amo Williams against Hamza Shiraz? Hamza Shiraz, honestly, Queensberry are so hot on this kid. They've already booked his next fight in at Wembley. Amo Williams is going to tear up the script and knock him out late in the fight. Then it's the big boys, of course. Philip Hrgovic against Daniel Dubois. The winner could book a slot in front of 100,000 at Wembley in September for the IBF World Heavyweight title. And then Wilder Zhang. Someone's going home and someone's going to sleep. Don't miss it tomorrow night. By the way, throw in Dimitri Bivol against Zinad as a little sort of canapé in between the middle of it all. What a night of boxing. Don't miss it. Thank you to His Excellency. Thank you to Frank Warren. Thank you to TNT, to DAZN. We're all coming together to give you the great nights in boxing. Cannot wait. Don't miss it.